Okay, now here's the deal. I came out this morning to photograph this tree, which you might know if you follow this channel. I photographed it last autumn. So it's this striding tree, looks fantastic, but a lot of background here, so it needs some fog to work. And yeah, this morning I thought I might be lucky with lower clouds because some bad weather is moving in and you often get low clouds or fog up here then. But yeah, it appears I'm not lucky, but what I've noticed is the clouds are there. They're just a little bit too high, so let's get to the edge of the woods here. If I get here to the outside, and yeah, if we have a look in that direction, you see it's not much. It's maybe 50 meters lower, and you have fog back there in the trees. I'm not sure if you see the tip of the tree is just in the clouds. So yeah, I might just have a look there and see if I find something. So adapting my original plan and seeing if I find some trees back there and hoping that the cloud just sags a little bit and yeah, get some fog. Because as often with woodland, there's so much chaos and yeah, you need to simplify, and the best thing to do that is when you get some fog, background is diminished, you have a shroud of white revealing just a few of the trees, and this makes it much easier to photograph woodland. And yeah, a beautiful subject like this alone often doesn't help because it's swallowed by all the surroundings. So in a 3D scene, if you're here standing and looking, it looks nice, but if you then compress it down to a 2D image, then you notice all the distractions which are just there. But yeah, we'll see what happens if I go up there, if I find something, and if the clouds move in a bit more, and also if I get some rain later. But yeah, for now, forgot to tell you, hello, welcome to another vlog. I'm again here in the Rhön and trying to photograph some woodland. Let's go. Okay, just there for a second I thought I could get a photo with the sun peeking in, and it looked nice, but as soon as I got out the camera and looked at the live view, somehow the magic disappeared. So what I'm seeing now looks magical, but I've been here last autumn, as I said, and I've taken a photo which is one of my favorites from last year, and there I had thick fog and a very moody atmospheric look to the image, and yeah, I like this much better than what I have now with all the distractions in the background. So I decided not to take a photo, but still can enjoy this moment. It's just beautiful with the sun peeking through. Imagine if I had just a little bit of fog drifting through here. This would be quite a magical scene, because then I would have those rays of light coming through the canopy of trees. And yeah, this is what I kind of hoped for this morning, but it doesn't seem like this is gonna happen. So I have to come back a few times. But what I do, or what you can always do, so if you're at a location, and this happens very often, so you're at a location which you want to photograph and the light or conditions are just not right, don't just go home. Take your time and explore. So for example, I've now been to the spots which I already scouted last time, so I knew I want to take a photo there if I have green leaves on the trees and some fog, maybe some sun. And now what I do, I use the time, I'm up anyway, walk around a bit more and find or see if I can find some other trees, some other compositions which will work. So prepare myself for when the conditions are right. Okay, enough waffling now. Let's see if I find something, and also maybe when the weather moves in, which currently doesn't look like it, we get some lower clouds and maybe some fog or atmosphere after all. So I've been now walking around the woods here for a bit more than an hour since the last update, and yeah, I didn't find too much, and this also shows that how much the right atmosphere can do for a place if you want to take a photo. Because last time I was here with a fork, could have taken a photo in nearly every direction. It was just great and yeah, very photogenic. This time it's still the same place, still beautiful, but in terms of photography it's a bit too hard. As I said, too many distractions, and I didn't find a composition that would work in those conditions. Also, it seems like the weather is now moving in, but not as I had hoped for, with deep clouds and maybe some fog. It's coming with winds, and that's never good for photographing woodland. Trees are shaking, leaves are shaking, so yeah, I fear this morning won't have a photo for you. So it's a bit bad, but yeah, also a bit disappointing, but only at first. So maybe there's a message. So if you get up 5 in the morning, head out to a location, and even if you don't get a photo, it's never wasted time to be out in nature. And yeah, that's how I like to think of those mornings. Also, when I got up this morning, it was like 50-50 if I would get the conditions I hoped for. Or 50-50 is quite high already, yeah. Sometimes it's more like 1 to 10 or even less, and yeah, I still get out. And it's always nice to be out in nature, to experience beautiful forest like this, even if you don't take a photo. So yeah, don't get too disappointed if you don't get the photo. Maybe you come back another time, and yeah, just focus on the positive things, and that's breathing some fresh air, being out, and yeah, next time maybe I have a photo for you. See you.